क्षेमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ अकाश्वलायनो भगवन्तम् परमेष्टिनम् उपसमेत्योवाच अधीहि भगवन् ब्रह्मविद्यां वरिष्ठाम् सदा सद्भिः सेव्यमानां निगूढाम् यया चिरात् सर्वपापं व्यपोह्य परात्परं पुरुषं याति विद्वान्। मंत्र नंबर 19। यत्परं ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सूक्ष्मात् सूक्ष्मतरं नित्यं तत्त्वमेव त्वमेव तत्। यत् परम ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा, यत् प्रसिद्धम, that which is well known in the shastra, in the parampara, in the sampradaya teaching among the seekers, that is prasiddham, as the truth and as the parama purushartha, it is well known. Yat, what is it that? Brahma, Brahma Brihat, that is Desha Kala Vastu Paricheda. I'm just reading the Tika commentary. Desha Kala Vastu Paricheda Shunyam, free from all limitations, the limitless, the truth, being the Paramarthika Satya Vastu. It is not conditioned, not limited by any of the Namarupa, any of the Upadhis. Desha, Kala, Vastu, these Upadhis do not limit. In fact, Desha, Kala, Vastu, these are all Namarupa. These are Namarupa Kalpita in Atma, Brahmatma. Therefore, they do not limit condition Brahma. Like even our imagined snake does not limit the rope in any way. So too, the Kalpita, Desha, Kala, Vastu do not create any division, do not limit. Earlier it was pointed out, Akhanda Bodham, Adharam, Anandam, Akhanda Bodham it was said, Akhandam it is said. In the Lakshana, the definition of Brahman, the very description of Brahman, we have the Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. Anantam means limitless. That is what is indicated by this word, this expression, Desha Kala Vastu Paricheda Shunyam. And that Brahman is me, Atma, me, Brihat. And this Brahman is untouched by any of the Desha Kala Vastu and is the highest. That is said by the word Param, the highest. Also, that is the Parama Purushartha, therefore that is Param, Utkrishtam, that which is sought. The highest that is sought in the form of Moksha, Parama Purushartha. That is. And this verily, this Brahma is Sarvatma, that is Sarva Prani sthitaha, obtains in all beings as the very, very being, as the very truth of all beings. Sarva ananyaha cha, does not get divided, it's not away from any entity. Every entity, every object, every entity does not exist outside of Brahman, other than Brahman. Like the wave cannot exist minus water. So too nothing can have an existence, even be it sthula, be it sukshma, whatever it is, be it big, be it small, nothing can have a being, in existence without Brahman. Therefore Brahman is sarva ananya, not other than anything. Everything is not other than, doesn't exist other than Brahman. Outside of Brahman, minus Brahman, there is no entity. This ananyatva is the most important thing. So sarvam prapancha, sarvaha prapanchaha, the whole universe is mattaha ananyaha. It is not other than me, the Brahmatma. This is the ananyatva siddhi. It's called ananyatva siddhi. Is the Advaita siddhi. Understanding Advaita means understanding that nothing is other than me, Brahmatma. Nothing is other than Ishvara. Nothing is other than Brahman. That is the Ananyatva Siddhi. Without Ananyatva, understanding of Ananyatva, Anyat means other than this. Like even the table is other than the book. So here that is Anyat, that is other than. As an entity, a table is other than book. But then nothing is other than Brahman, the very truth of all, the very Sat, the very content of all. Therefore, Sarva Ananyaha cha. And this description, Sarvatma, Param Brahma, Sarva Ananyaha, these are all meant for Nididhyasana, contemplation. The sadhaka has to contemplate in this way only. Deliberately one contemplates, I the Atma is Sarva Ananyaha. Sarva is na anyat from me, the Brahmatma. This way one contemplates deliberately. This contemplation helps one understand, right? Remember, there is a growing clarity, growing understanding, comprehension. That's what generally happens with reference to very subtle matter, subtle vishaya, subtle entities, subtle subject matter. The comprehension, the understanding grows generally. That's how it happens. So even as I keep practicing, even as I keep contemplating that the Atma is Sarva Ananyaha, everything is me. That way, contemplating like that, the understanding grows. The earlier conditioning in the mind or in the jiva that I am an individual other than everything. I am small. Everything else is put together, everything is infinitely huge, vast, and I am like a very small entity, and therefore I have this problem of insecurity. I have to defend myself against this vast universe, the forces which are not within my control. There is a fear is there. So one can get over this intrinsic, that's what that is the abiding, the existing fear in the mind, in the jiva. Therefore the clarity grows. The earlier thinking, the earlier habituation changes, right? Changes. The buddhi of Veda, Bhinnatva, Parichinnatva buddhi gradually wears out by substituting in my mind the Abheda buddhi, Aparichinna buddhi, Sarvatma buddhi. Therefore, this is all for contemplation. Take one word, take a description and then chew it in the mind. I always remember the fellows, the players, cricketers and then cricketers, they keep on chewing gum. The referees, umpires and then the players. And then the coaches, all that, the sitting. The side, no, the sideliner, they say keep on chewing up. I wonder what is there in it. There is nothing really. It's only rubber, sort of some rubbery substance. Not good for health anyway. It's definitely not good for health. Go on chewing. Like that, I remember that. Go on chewing in the mind. Keep on working that. Think on that. Think through the different facets, different aspects of a description, right? And then analyze your own thinking, and then analyze your own outlook, your own ideas. Bring up what do you think of it, right? How do you visualize it? How do you own it? What hinders? Is there any obstacle? Is there any hindrance in my mind to understand this? And then if I identify any hindrance, work on that so that hindrance can be, the obstacle can be removed. This is all the continuing nididhyasana or dhyana the sadhaka has to do. Whenever time permits, take time sometime, right? Take time during the day, or whenever time permits, to the extent, keep doing this. This is a sadhaka's primary role, that is to say, the primary role. And then all others, the necessary role playing, and then other necessary bahiranga sadhanas, external means, whatever that is necessary, can be taken to as and when necessary, right? Can be taken to. So this is the primary, the priority, the top priority for a sadhaka: deliberation, contemplation, meditation. So this is what it's about, a life of contemplation. Thereby one owns, one comprehends, one owns the vision, and that happens to be the Parama Purushartha, Sarva Ananyaha cha. When everything is Atma, I have nothing to covet, I have nothing to be averse about, right? I have nothing to long for, because everything is me. I can long for something which I am not, which I don't have, right? But then when I understand, or at least when I think through, when I think that I am Sarvatma, I am everything, then there is nothing outside of me, nothing that has gotten by me for the sake of fullness. For the sake of survival, I need food, clothing, etc. That is all vyavaharika purposes. But then to be full, to be happy, to be satisfied, to be loving, I don't need anything, right? Because I am everything. When I am everything, then there is nothing other than me which I can long for, or I can dislike, I can hate. Whom to hate? What to hate? What is there to hate about? What is there to long for? What is there which is not gotten by me? In the Taittiriya, there is this mention of the degree of happiness what one has. The degree of happiness. It starts with Manusha Ananda. The happiness, the maximum happiness possible for a human being, embodied being, in a human mind, in a human body. What is the maximum? Experiential happiness. Okay? That it says, no, you are young enough. You have to take young enough. Okay. What is young, what is old is a question mark. It tends to be subjective. No? What is young now? My age plus 5. That is young. My age plus 10. That is young age. If I am 50, 60 is up to 60 is young. If I am 20, up to 30 is young. Subject. Yuva, that is fit in body, right? All the organs are very strong enough in their fullest potential. And then sadhu, a person of character. A person of character, sadhu. And then learned person, adhyayakaha, a learned person. And then in the whole Prithvi belongs to this person. The whole world belongs to this person. Everything is bigger than Bill Gates or whatever, bigger than Warren Buffett, bigger than Bill Gates, bigger than Ambani, right? So because they own a little bit of this earth, right? But then this fellow owns the entire earth. Sarva Prithvi Vittena Purna Syat. Everything is belongs to this person. This fellow is the Swami, the owner of everything. And then there are people, right, around him who are loving people, caring people, helpful people, right? And then they abide by what this person says. What a grand imagination. And this person's happiness, experiential happiness, the happiness that the fellow would get by having this, enjoying this, right? That is the experiential happiness. That is one ekaha manushaha ananda. This is one manusha ananda. Now calculate what is our ananda. Everything 1 by billion into 1 by billion into 1 by 5 billion, right? How much property we have, how much money we have, how much power we have, how much knowledge we have, how many people are there around us, how many people go by what we say, all 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by fraction. Okay, this is the Manusha Ananda. And this Manusha Ananda is there for a person of wisdom. Why it is there for that person? The other person who is a wise person, who is not this young fellow who is the owner of all, the other person need not be the owner of this to be happy, to have this, to be happy. What is the person happy with? What is the person happy for? Shrotriyasya akamahatasya. Right? Shrotriyaha akamahataha. Shrotriyaha, very learned person in Shastra, who understands Shastra, vision of Shastra, and then na kamahataha, not afflicted by, not dragged away by this whims and fancies and desires. Kama is the desire. That is not drawn away by that. One who is swavashaha, one is not the slave of one's own ideas, likes and dislikes, but one is the master of oneself. Akamahataha. For that person of wisdom, this ananda is there already. Without having those possessions, right? Without owning anything necessarily, this person has this ananda. That happiness, the eka manusha ananda, belongs to this person. And is that all? No. It says further, multiply this by 100 times. Multiply this imagination, okay? Just do a calculation. So much is the ananda. Just try to quantify into 100. So that belongs to the higher entities, and multiply by 100 still belongs to still higher entities, and all that ananda, that happiness, that satisfaction, the contentment, the peace, all that belongs to this person without owning anything, just because the person has understood that what is all there is me. In me there is no wanting, there is no shortcoming, there is no unfulfillment in me, there is no dissatisfaction, there is no disquiet in me. I am the peace, I am the Shanta Swarupa, I am the Shanti Swarupa, I am the ever tripta, Nitya Triptaha Asmi, I am the ever tripta, I am the ever contented, I am the ever happy Atma. Right? So this is what one needs to contemplate. When I am Sarva Atma, there is nothing that I have to gain or get rid of to be happy. Right? To be happy, I don't need anything. This in the Bhashyakara says in the Kaivalyopanishad, Heya Upadeya Varjitam. Free from any Heya. Heya means to be gotten rid of. I have to get rid of this to be happy. This is all bugging me, bothering me, giving me pain, making me suffer, right? Making me unhappy, restless. So I have to be rid of all this. There is nothing for this person to be rid of, to be happy. And there is nothing to be upadeya, to be gotten, to be acquired, to be owned, to be experienced, to be happy. Okay? So heya upadeya varjita. Nothing to be gotten rid of, because the person is everything, is the Sarvatma, that remains in its own, the intrinsic Purnatva. And that person, that mind, that Chidabhasa, the enlightened Chidabhasa, the enlightened mind, or the enlightened Jiva, whatever we call, that is imbued with that wisdom. That Chidabhasa or that mind is filled with the wisdom. Like the Rasgulla, okay? Rasgulla, the Indians, Bengali sweet, soaked in the sugar syrup. So you cut it, break it, and then all along, all through it is soaked in the sweet. Anywhere you touch, it's sweet. Like the Rasgulla soaked in the sugar syrup, right? Like the candy. Anything that the person perceives is filled with the vision. Anything the mind that thinks of is filled with the vision. Anything that the response of that person is filled with this vision. That mind enjoys quietude, right? An abiding quietude, abiding contentment. Okay? Or that Chidabhasa enjoys this. So the vision pervades in and through every moment of this enlightened Chidabhasa or enlightened mind. That is it, right? So that is the Jivan Mukti. Therefore, that is the living in fullness. Like we have to become like children in a way, okay? Not in a way, right? Now, which way? I can say many ways. One way, I think. Look at children eating a cup of ice cream, eating chocolate. Look at them. Right? Give a chocolate. If it's okay for the child to eat, okay, so give a chocolate. Watch a child eating a chocolate, chocolate bar. Okay, just watch it. Wow, it enjoys. Okay, enjoys eating every bite of it, every bite, every scoop of that ice cream, every spoonful of ice cream. It enjoys thoroughly, right? And then even if the cup is can't scoop out, then put a finger. Do that, children do that. Enjoy the fullest, because it's innocence. Children have this innocence, right? The openness is there, the innocence is there, right? They're not driven by the adults' limitations, not imbued with the adults' limitations. Just itself enjoying. We all wish that we become like children in the sense that we enjoy every moment of our life. Every moment of our life. What we do, we enjoy, right? What we interact with, right? Whatever we come across with, we enjoy that. That is the Jivan Mukti. That is Jivan Mukti. And for that, one needs to understand this. What am I? Without understanding what I am really, this enjoying life, every moment of it is not possible. I can have occasional enjoyment that is brought about karma, punya karma only, right? Which I already have. And if I want more of it, I earn more and more punya, and then I can have more of this experiential happiness, which is limited, which is time bound, which is conditional. But every moment of my life, if I want to live in fullness, live in happiness, live in peace, right? So, in spite of my activity, in spite of my interactions, or in spite of my being alone, whatever it be, so I enjoy, I live to the full. That is the Jivan Mukti. And that purely depends upon my comprehending, my owning, my assimilating the vision. And therefore, and that is the most valuable thing for me, the seeker, and therefore I accord the top priority for that. Top priority, in terms of priority, that is the topmost for me. And anything that I do subserves, helps in that. This is the yoga. This is yoga. Anything that I do helps in that. Remember the painter's brush, right? Everything the painter does, is a stroke, a nice stroke. Right? Because the brush is all, brush just dances to the stroke of the painter. Correctly does it. I watched the woodworker. Okay, that fellow was making some sculpture, some sculpture, and then some door parts, etc. for a temple. This fellow was making. I don't know how woodwork, I don't know. Making a statue, I don't know. And there is no picture. This fellow goes on with a chisel and then hammer, goes on doing tuck, 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 going chiseling. And then nicely, every stroke of it goes on carving out of the block of wood, sculpture, human face, the divine face, and then the body, the hand, the finger, the nails and all that. Every stroke, the economy of the stroke. No stroke is a waste. Everything is very, very purposeful, meaningful, and everything is guided, goes towards making the idol, the statue, the sculpture. Very beautiful. So anything that I do, everything I do is all meaningful, connected. That is yoga, a life of being connected. Everything meaningful, everything is connected that I do. And therefore, anything that I do, may I see to that it is all meaningful and connected to the understanding, the owning of my own true Swarupa, which is my top priority. Okay. So, all the words need to be, this is not something, a text or a book, or which is to be just browsed through, rushed through. The Sarvantaryami, Sarva Antaratma, Sarvatma, Sarva Ananyaha, right? Adhara, Akhanda, Ananda, every word is to be chewed. Right? Okay, I don't bother about rushing through the text. There's no purpose. I came across recently one friend, a friend of mine told, this person went to a Swami, a well-known Swami, and then Swamiji, teach me Vedanta. I want to learn Vedanta from you. Teach me. And then the Swami did not teach for many days. Did not teach. Later. And then one day the Swami decided to teach Manisha Panchakam. The Swami decided to teach Manisha Panchakam. Every day in the morning, the Swami would talk on one verse of Manisha Panchakam. Manisha Panchaka has 5 verses, that's all. So 5 days it's over. Okay? And then the end of the 5th day, of the 5th shloka, the Swami tells, teaching is over. Okay? That's all Vedanta I have to say. That's all there is Vedanta. That's all there is in the Vedanta to teach and to know. If you think there is anything more to learn in Vedanta, you go home. Go away, go. There is nothing. That's all. Manisha Panchakam over, finished. The idea is this, It's not one small text, it's not one book, one set of 5 verses. It's something one has to keep on looking into, keep understanding, right? So that's the idea, the spirit behind that is you have to work on it, you have to think through, you have to understand manana, nididhyasana, all that needs to be done. Therefore, we have to, the sadhaka, the seeker has to spend time on looking into the meaning, the essence of these words. Okay. Sarva ananyaha cha Vishvasya sarvasya karya karana jatasya ayatanam adhara bhutam. That Atma, Brahmatma is the ayatanam, means adhara bhutam, verily in the form of the substratum, the platform, the ground on which all this Nama-rupa abides. The Nama-rupa rests in the Nama and the Rupa, they rest on the Vastu, the truth. Like even the part, the form, and part, the name, rest on the Vastu, the content, that is clay. So too, everything rests on Brahmatma for its very being, right? Brahma, everything for its very being, for its very being seen or being felt and being known, for being revealed and for being useful, right? Whatever utility it has for Nama, Rupa and Karma, All that is Nama, that is all depend upon this Brahmatma. Therefore, Brahmatma is the very residence where everything resides, where everything abides. Ayatanam, Adharabhutam. Further, Mahat Praudham. Mahat means Prauda. Prauda means very big, very great, infinitely great it is, limitless. How it is great? Is it in some terms of size? Is it in terms of weight? Right? Or is it in terms of glory? Is it in terms of power? Here says, in what sense it is great? He says here, Sarva Adharatvena Eva. Adharatvena Itam Bhave Tritiya. The Tritiya Adharatvena in the form of being the Adhara, the very substratum of everything. Sarva Adhara, the very substratum, the very truth of all. In this way alone it is big, it is limitless. Sarva Adharatvena Eva, it is Mahat. It is big, it is great in the sense that it is the Adhara of everything. All that is there is Brahma Ananyat. Ananyat from Brahma. Therefore, being the Adhara, it is Mahat Praudam. Anything that we imagine, we think of, we know, that is that isness, that is. Okay? Everything is. That is from the Sat Brahma. Therefore, Brahma is the Sarva Adhara. And everything that is known, that is revealed, that shines, that is illumines, that it is illumined, all that is Chit, which is verily the Brahma. Therefore, Sarva Adhara. Okay. All right. What about, is it big means what? It is not small. No, it is smaller than the smallest also. Further. Sukshmat. That is Anuparimanat. Sukshmataram. Sukshma means small. Sukshmatara means smaller. Sukshmataram, smaller. Smaller than what? Smaller than Sukshma. Smaller than the small, subtle. What is small here? He gives an example. Anu Parimanat. Parimana, the size. The size of an atom. An atom is very tiny and tinier than smaller than the atom. So bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest means no size. Right? There is no Parimana. There is no Paricheda. There is no Parimana. Okay. Now he brings out, the commentator brings out Mahad Api Atishayena Anuhu. So he brings in both. Mahad Api, Brahmatma is Mahat, is great, bigger, is biggest, bigger than the biggest. At the same time, Atishayena Anuhu, exceedingly small, very tiny too, very, very big, very, very small, bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest. Atishayena Anuhu. The Anu also can be used in the sense of subtle. Subtle means not easy to comprehend. Yeshaha Anuhu Atma. It is said in the Kataupanishad. Yeshaha Anuhu Atma. Right? Gudaha Gudotma. Yeshaha Anuhu Atma. Anu means very difficult, subtle to. That is to say, one needs to open up one's mind to really understand fully what it is. To the extent I open my mind, to that extent I will understand. But to understand fully, I have to include everything. I have to open to all. Decondition my mind totally from the hold of Namarupa, Kama Krodha. I need to. This is the most. The crux is in dropping the notion of individuality. I am an individual is a culprit, a very key culprit in this. I am an individual, and from that stems all other ideas, all other notions about oneself, wrong notions about oneself. The garva, ahankara, krodha, matsarya, then vengefulness, right? So you did this to me, tit for tat, I will pay you back, I will do you this back to you, right? And then bhaya, fear, and then being defensive, aggressiveness, right? Possessiveness, right? Competitiveness, all stems from this taking away somebody else, what belongs to somebody, right? Right? What does not belong to me, I try to take away. Right? That is all that. Everything, all this stems from this notion of individual. I am an individual. Aham parichinnaha. Aham anishaha. Remember that. Right? Anishaha I am. So from that sense of individual, limiting individuality alone, everything stems. All stems from that. That comes, then everything else comes. All anartha vrata comes up. Therefore, one has to learn, one has to practice dropping this sense individuality, keep dropping, as part of one's sadhana, keep dropping. Right? It's not worth holding anymore. For a sadhaka, it's not worth holding as the truth, as the reality of oneself. It's not worth holding. It is purely for vyavahara sake, it's there. And vyavahara, one keeps one's vyavahara, one keeps with one's swadharma. One's own swadharma, follow one's swadharma to that extent, that's all. Right? Not more than that. For a sadhaka. It's all like that. We will tell about the drawing room, right? People come to your home, come to our home. We don't strangers and others, just an acquaintance, a casual acquaintance. We welcome them to our drawing room, right? Where we welcome the guest and then entertain them, treat them properly with due respect, and then namaste. That's all. That stranger or the just a casual acquaintance doesn't enter the interiors of our home. If I allow each and every stranger into the interiors of my home, then anartha only. So too, we have to be very discreet. What to allow, what should be allowed to come inside us, to take inside as part of us, as part of our being, as part of our psyche, as part of our outlook, right? Our value structure, what I should take in, we have to be very, very discreet. And what I should keep it at just at the vyavahara level. We should be very, very discreet. That's the buddhimatta, intelligence is there. We don't have to allow each and everything to enter into my heart. It's a problem. You get confused for everything. You get affected by everything, right? So, keep off, keep distance. What needs to be taken in, you take in. What need not be taken in, don't take it in. Don't burden yourself with taking everything into the core of your heart, the core of your person, right? Take only what is proper. Take only what is good. Take only what that is connected to your own Parama Purushartha. Take only that. That is the seeker. Okay? That is the seeker. That is the. So we do this. That we take only to what is necessary. Okay. So it's subtle. So keep dropping the individuality. To the extent possible, to the extent necessary, just don't invoke the individual. Just look at it. See, when I look at a thing, there is just in the I am the seer, I am the one onlooker, I look at a thing. But then things do not stop with that. Then I evaluate that object, I evaluate the entity, I evaluate the incidents, right? The incident, whatever the happening is there, I evaluate, and then there is a criticism in my mind of that. I criticize this way, that way. I do a critical analysis of that, and then I have some judgment over that, right? This is good, that is not good. This is likable, not likable. So and so is bad. So and so is good. Right? And there's a judgment, and then based upon that I develop likes and dislikes. If I have to do it, let me do it only for what that is necessary. Only for what is necessary, I let me do that to the necessary extent alone, do that. But unfortunately, the human mind does not do that. It keeps on doing for each and everything. Each and everything, every instrument keeps on going, sitting on that and then mulling over it, criticizing that, analyzing that, passing judgment over that, unnecessary. It all stems from this individuality, the sense of individuality alone. Cluttering one's own mind, one's own thinking, clouding it with one's own the judgment and all that. Keep it to the bare minimum necessary, right? Will be light within. The heart will be light. See, we say, parigraha. Parigraha means going on gathering, accumulating things. It's not with reference to the objects, really speaking. It's the idea behind that collecting, the collector, collecting, going on, collecting, accumulating things. The parigraha is not really with reference to the objects. It is with reference to the person. Parigrahita is the problem, right? What I accumulate is not the real problem. It's only a symptom. I go on accumulating dabbas, okay? I am a dabba Swami. Go on accumulating dabba. That's only a symptom. But the problem is in the parigrahita, right? That is where the problem. My thinking, my sense of insecurity, fear, right? That's the problem. Therefore, one has to, the parigraha, don't go on accumulating ideas. What for? If I go on collecting dabbas, it is external junk. And I go on collecting ideas, criticism, judgment, views, and then standpoint. Unnecessary. What for? Unnecessary. That's the junk within. That's all junk within. Therefore, one has to, if one clears one's mind of all this unnecessary junk, unnecessary propensities, right, to learn to drop the individuality. It's good for a seeker. I am talking for a seeker, I am talking. If I am not a seeker, well, it waits. This statement waits. When I become seeker, this statement will become relevant. If I am a seeker, to that seeker I am saying this, drop the individuality to the extent possible. Don't invoke I am this, I am that. How can you do that to me? How can you say that to me? Right? This, who do you think I am? All this will keep dropping that. Again I say, this is for a seeker. If you are not a seeker, it's not for you. Okay? It's not for you. If you are not a seeker, it's not for you. So, that helps. I cannot own the individuality as real and yet want to be the Brahmatma. It's just not possible. I want to be free from all trouble, all the pain, all the suffering, unhappiness, and disquietude. I want to be peaceful, abiding. I want to enjoy every moment of life, and yet I want to hold on to the individuality. It's not possible. It won't happen. I can't. They say, I can't have the cake and eat it too. Have the cake and eat it too. I want to have the cake. It looks nice, so nice. It smells nice, beautiful, soft to touch. At the same time, I want to eat it also. I want to eat it and have the cake also. It's not like eat one cake and have another cake. No, I have only one cake. My life, that's all. I have only one cake. My life, that's all. So, it's not possible, just not possible to hold on to Jivatva. At the same time, look for this Brahmatva or the Jivan Mukti. It's not possible. I can't hold it as real and then hold on and then do that. It's not possible. Therefore, and holding on to Jivatva as real means only samsara. It's only samsara, which the person has done an adequate homework and ascertained as that one has to drop, give away, give up. Therefore, don't invoke the individuality as much as possible. Only then one can really comprehend all this sarva ananyaha, right? I am that love, I am that Niratishaya Prema, I am that. I am that Ananda Swarupa. I am that Shanti Swarupa. To understand, to own, it takes a lot. Lot means that one has to be free from that notion of reality. It is Paramartha, that individuality is Paramartha. This notion one has to keep giving up. This is what we see in the saints. We see the saints, the great Mahatma, the great devotee, great Bhaktas. There is no individual at all. They are free, just free. Okay. The bird is free. The cage is the individuality, the notion, that is the cage. And then the jiva is like a bird in a cage. But when you look at great souls, great people, great saints, great bhaktas, you see, they are just free. There's nothing. You can't do anything to them. They can't be affected in any way. Bodily, I may hurt them. I may heap insult, words of insult over them, but then it's not touch, doesn't touch them. Doesn't touch them. There is no entity. That individual is not there. Not the entity. There is no individual to claim, yes, I am hurt, I am insulted. There is none at all. The other day I told, there is great devotee. Tukaram, I think Tukaram. The neighbor was jealous of Tukaram and then one day beat him with a stick. And then Tukaram says, don't beat me. Your hands will hurt. It will hurt your hands. It's not worth hurting your hands. You want to beat me? Give me the stick. I'll beat myself up. Your hand need not be hurt just to beat me up. You have great mind. That same thing happened with in the Tamil South India. There was Nandanar was there. The Nandanar as a landlord, and then landlord once got very angry with this saint and then beat him up. And then he said, then this fellow, this man, they what do you call that? They say that massage. Gently press the feet and the hands. Ayo pav, adicha kai nogume. Anda kai nogume. Anda means the landlord. The landlord's hand will ache, pain. There's no individuality at all. One shloka says, okay, such an individual there's no individuality, is not there, you cannot harm that person at all. It's like fire, burning charcoal falling on a ground where there is no grass to burn. What will it burn? If the charcoal burning coal falls on dry grass, the grass gets burned. Something to burn is there, the coal will burn. But if it falls on a bare ground where there is no grass to burn, what will it burn? Right? So too, if that individuality is not there, only totality is there, only Ishvara is there in their vision, in their thinking, in their bhavana, and then how can anybody hurt? There is nothing to be hurt. There is nothing to be hurt. Right? There is only fullness, there is no wholesomeness is there. There is only peace, there is only the truth, there is only Ishvara there. That's what one needs to, sadhaka needs to keep doing, keep practicing, keep doing that. Okay. Why I said this? Atishayena anuhu. It's very, very subtle indeed. And the Kathopanishad gives this example. Kshurasya dara nishita duratyaya durgam pataha yat kavayo vadanti. Kshurasya dara, like a sharp edge of a razor, okay, of a sword, like walking on that. The idea is this, and to keep to this, keep straight, keep to that. It's not that walking on the razor, why should I walk on the razor? Why should I walk on the sword edge? It's one has to be very, very clear about that. Keep unnecessary things away. Keep the unrelated, unconnected, unnecessary things, keep them away. One can see this is how the Shastras vision life. When we say Shanti Mantra, Badram Karnebihi Shrunuyama, Badram Pashyema, and then Sthirairangai Tushtuvam Saha, Devahitam Yadayuhu, Yashema Devahitam Yadayuhu. In all these prayers, the spirit is that the life is precious. The lifespan is very, very precious. Time is precious. That's how the creation is. That's the vision of the Devas. That's the vision of the scripture. That's the vision of. So, I am given a lifespan not to while away, not to waste away. There is enough time only to learn, only to grow, only to share what I have, only to give love, right? There is life only for that. Lifespan is only for that. Not to fight with you, not to quarrel with you, not to hate you, not to harm you. Then that is not human life. That is not the what it is meant for. Even though people do that, we see that in the world, that is not the wise way of living. Your time is not meant to be wasted on quarreling, fighting, right? For all that. Rather, it is only there. If you look at that way, you don't have time. You don't have time to waste, realistically. Right? You have only time to utilize, not to waste. Think of it, how much time a person wastes. How much time I wasted in the past. Okay, you wasted in the past. But then, again, now onwards at least, right? Don't waste away. Don't while away. Don't waste your time. Utilize it. That's the idea. The spirit, that's the spirit of Veda. That's why Vedas keep on giving up. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Don't do this. Doing this, you'll be wasting your precious life. Do this, do this. You'll be utilizing it properly. Live this way, do this, do that. Engaging me as either as a karma yoga, either as the role, or the sadhana practice, or as the seva, right? Or at least as the bhakti, right? As the devotion, the bhavana that I have. Engage yourself. Problem comes when I do not know what to do with my time, right? What to do with my life? What to do with my life means, they ask this question a lot. We come across this question. I don't know what to do with my life. That means I don't know what to do with my time. There are things to do. Okay. So time, there is only this lifespan is only for lifetime, is only for utilizing properly. These are all sadhaka. This is all sadhana. Right? Anuhu. Shankaracharya mentions in the Taittiriya Bhashya, he says, Sadhaneshu yatna adikyaha kartavyaha, he says. Put in effort on the sadhana. Because siddha vastu is siddha. There is no scope for sadhana there. But sadhana is necessary for preparing one's own self to own the siddha vastu, what is already there. That I am Brahman is a fact, it is there. To own it, I need to ready myself. Therefore, that is where one has to focus, pay a lot of attention, do a lot of things, lot is to be done. Yatna, effort, lot of effort has to be put in. Sadhaneshu, yatna adikya karta. Very clearly he mentions. We should not underestimate the necessity, the need, the importance of sadhana. We should never underestimate. If I underestimate, all my learn will be in the head, that's all. I know, I am informed, that's all. There will be pratibandha inside, and then there will be a bridge, there will be a gap between what I am informed and what I am, how I live. There will be a bridge, there will be a gap. The jnanam will be only paroksha, there will be pratibandha. I will not be able to own the vision, own the result of the learning. Therefore, one has to pay a lot of attention, put in a necessary effort in the sadhanas. All this I said because it is anuhu. Atishayena anuhu it is. Okay. Nityam vinasha shunyam. Free from vinasha. Shunyam means free. Free from vinasha. Indestructible. Nityam. Nothing can destroy. As Shankaracharya says in the Bhagavad Gita, even Ishvara cannot destroy Atma. I can't destroy Atma, okay? What about Ishvara, who is Sarva Shaktiman, all powerful? Ishvara can destroy Atma. No, even Ishvarena api, even Ishvara cannot destroy Atma. Why? Ishvara is Atma, that's all. Atma hi Ishvara, he says very nicely. Even Ishvara cannot kill Atma. In the na jayate mriyate, in the na hanyamane hanyate sharire, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. In that he says, even Ishvara cannot kill Atma. Why? Because Atma hi Ishvara. Atma is Ishvara. How can Ishvara kill itself? Oh, Nityam. I am the truth. I am the indestructible. I am the invariable. I am free from nasha. I am free from any change. All change is only in the vyavahara. Vyavaharika it is. I am nityam, vinasha shunyam. Okay, we will continue at 11:30. Om Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama devaha Bhadram pashyemakshaviryajatraha Sthirairangaiti stushtuvam sastanubhi Yashema devahitam yadayo Swastina indro vridhashravaha Swastina pusha vishvaveda Swasti nastakshyo harishtanevihi Swasti no brihaspati dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om